say a sikha. Half an hour when the can came. So the Rebbe said, till the bike comes, we'll sing a nigga. Oh, yeah. They haven't sing. Okay, now it's starting to work. So we have to start singing. Okay, just before we start, we read a few lines from this Kovetz. Saying over here, "Mesitra de Gedusha, the Kori Ubitel. Hare Yu b'tchenes Yichud v'Iskarus. By Gedusha, the main meaning of Gedusha is Bitel. Not to emphasize how you exist, your existence, and because you're not full of yourself, there's no Yeshut, so there's room for other people. You could be united with other people. Yichud v'Iskarus, because there's Bitel. The Liya is true b'tchenes Bitel. Hare Yu nation Markham alazulas, because he is bottle. He gives room for someone else. What does it mean that he gives place for someone else? That means that he's willing to accept from someone else and to become one with someone else. Okay. The Rambam says, before he brings the second proof for Mashiach, the Rambam brings three proofs for Mashiach and Torah. Three rayas. Before the second proof, the Rambam says, also in Parshas Bilam Naman, it says, "V'shom nibo b'shnei Mashiachim." He said in a vua about the two Mashiachs. So the Rebbe asks, before the first proof that Rambam says, the Rambam doesn't say which parsha it says, and then the Rambam brings another proof after it, the Rambam also doesn't say which parsha it says. Why over here does the Rambam need to emphasize which parsha it says in the Torah, the Parshas Bilam? Before V'shem Hashem Elokecha Shvutzcha, it doesn't say after Parshas Nitzavim. Before the third proof from Ari Mikla, it doesn't say after Parshas Shoiftim. It just says, it says in Ari Mikla, it says this. Why here does the Rambam need to emphasize in Parshas Bilam there's an avua? Just say it says in the Torah. That's enough. So last week we explained, the last year we explained that the reason why before this proof that Rambam emphasized Parshas Bilam and Shom Nibo, because who said this in the Vua? Bilam said it. So how do you know it's going to happen? If a guy says something, who says it's real? So the Rambam needs to emphasize that it says V'shom Nibo. It says a prophet. It was a prophet. And the Rambam's, that's one thing that Rebbe says. The Rebbe says you can't say that because it's a very big doichik to say that's the reason. That's the reason, because if it says it in Torah, that's enough of a reason for it to happen. It says it in the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't record shtuyot that's not going to happen. If Moshe Rabbeinu records it in the Chumash, that's enough of a reason for it to happen. It says it in the Torah. It's enough of a reason for this thing to happen. So why does Rambam emphasize the Shom Nibo? So the Rebbe says the Kavana is to Moshe Rabbeinu's Nevuah. And Rambam says someone that doesn't believe in Mashiach or wait for Mashiach, he's a koifer in two things: in Torah and in Moshe Rabbeinu. Two things: Chamisha Chamisha Torah and Moshe Rabbeinu. So for this, that he's koifer in Moshe Rabbeinu, that's why he brings the second proof. The first proof is that he's koifer in Torah. The second proof is that he's koifer in Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore, he says with Shom Nibo. Now, Siv Beis, the Rebbe is going to say another beer, a very geschmack beer. Why the Rambam has to emphasize that it says it in Parshas Bilam and it's in Avur. Oidish lavar al pia derech amavur lekamon simin hey kol echad ma'adayis shehevi Rambam yesh b'chidish miyuchad lavar achoymer agodil shal kol mi she'enim ma'amin bei mi she'enim achakad b'yosei. The Rambam brings three proofs. Each one of the proofs has something unique that's special in that proof that you don't have in the other proofs. Now, the Rebbe says, this proof has something very, very unique. What's very unique about this proof? The Rebbe continues, Shagamba zeh, Kavanas haramba milah shmiyenu, Chumra neisefes b'mi she'enim ma'aymin b'malach HaMashiach. Shnei seval zeh shu koifer b'teir v'meish Rabbeinu, hara yu koifer gam b'divrei nevuah. A person, there's many different levels in kfira. And someone's a denier, denying in the Torah, there's many different levels. Here, one of the levels of Torah is the level of nevuah, nevim. You can have a promise of Torah, then you have nevuah. Nevuah has something very special. And the Rebbe is going to say, what's so special about nevuah that you don't have in the first raya or the third raya? And over here, you have this smile of nevuah, so the Rambam has to emphasize that this promise about the Mashiach is a nevuah. To let us know someone that doesn't believe in Mashiach is also kofer in nevuah. What's so special about nevuah more than Torah?
Before you go ahead, I want to clarify to make something clear. The point is bringing all these different parshas. The Rebbe is saying that he emphasizes the Haggadah that each. Why does he bring all these proofs? Because each proof displays a certain severity in denial. Each one's unique. So that's the Haggadah of what is the severity. That's again, it's important to believe in the Mashiach, and denying it carries consequences.
So you're not only denying the Mashiach, you're denying the Nevuah, you're denying.
So that's what he said. Well, first is Dvar Malchus. Now he's saying Nevuah.
The third one
You're
is
denying
mitzvahs.
Torah. You're denying Torah.
Yeah.
So you get the Kafir Kol.
Right.
The highest level of
there's
Kafir.
different levels, and the Rambam is saying that Mashiach is brought about in every single part of the Torah, every single inning of the Torah. There's Avtachos of Torah, there's Nevuos of Torah, and there's Mitzvahs of Torah. And that's what the Rebbe says is each one of these three proofs. The first one is Avtach of Torah, promise the Torah says. The second one is an Nevuah of Torah, prophecy that the Torah says. And the third proof is from a mitzvah of Torah that talks about Mashiach. That someone doesn't believe in Mashiach, he's denying in mitzvahs. He's denying in every single level of Torah. To emphasize this severity, that Rambam says these words, that he's kofer in Nevuah. But the third proof that Rambam says, for like Tziva HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Torah, the Eibush didn't give us a mitzvah for nothing to emphasize that he's kofer in a mitzvah in Torah. So let's see this.
I'm just saying. The obviously problem that he's going to be directing is if you already have a proof from the Torah denial, so what do you need the others for? What could be more severe than that? If you're going against the Torah says it, so what do you need the rule for? What is that? How does that add?
Maybe it'll jog you out of your state.
What?
Maybe it'll jog you out of your state.
So I said that in some respects, the rule is even worse than Torah.
Yeah. So very good. Now let's see inside.
Running commentary.
The Av. Now the Rebbe says the Av should divrei Torah chamurim divrei Nevi'im. Generally speaking, the words of Chamisha Chumshei Torah are more chamur. Chumash is more severe than divrei Nevi'im. Nevertheless, we find the severity in the words of the Nevi'im even more than divrei Torah. Right? What does it say? It says when Mashiach is going to come, all Sifrei HaNevi'im are going to become bottled. But the Chamush Chumshei Torah is not going to be bottled. So the Chamush Chumshei Torah is even stronger than Divrei Nevi'im. How could Divrei Nevi'im be stronger than Divrei Torah? So the Rebbe is going to explain that we find something very unique by Divrei Nevi'im that's even stronger than Divrei Torah. The Rebbe continues, someone that doesn't listen to the Torah, there's different levels, what type of Aveda he was over on, and according to that is his punishment. It depends if it's a small Aveda or a severe Aveda. But if someone doesn't listen to a Navi, it doesn't make a difference what the Navi told you. If the Navi tells you, I'm telling you to go give you a cup of water, and you don't listen to him, you don't say, yeah, it's such a small thing. He didn't listen. Chayiv Misa. If you're over a Navi, it's Chayiv Misa b'dei Shamayim. No matter what it is. Divrei Torah, it depends what type of Aveda it was. If it was a Safir Aveda, less Aveda. Divrei Nevuah, no matter what a Navi tells you, if you don't listen, it's Chayiv Misa. Why? The reason for this is even though generally speaking the words of Torah are much more stronger than the strength of Divrei Nevi'im, when it's talking, if you're going to compare Divrei Torah to Divrei Nevuah, so Divrei Nevuah is less than Divrei Torah. Divrei Torah is stronger. But if you're talking the way Divrei Torah and Divrei Nevuah is connected to people, connected to us, the Bnei Adam, what's more connected to you? What's more closer to us? Divrei Nevuah.
It makes more of an impact. You hear from somebody in front of you, you hear from the Rebbe, even though it's in the Torah, you hear from the Rebbe, you hear from a Navi, the impact is greater. That's the whole point where we have Navi to start off with. Why do we have Navi to start off? We only have the Torah to bring Torah closer to home.
Right. So the Rebbe says, "Ki hanavua hu mashar kel menabes bnei adam." The whole idea of nevuah is what the Eibishter brings out his words through people. You're not hearing Matan Torah thunder from Shaman. You're hearing someone speaking to you face to face. There's a difference if someone's talking and you happen to hear and you don't listen. So it depends how severe the thing is. If it's a small thing, it's not a severe. It's not a. If a king or is talking to you face to face and he says do this and you don't listen to him, it doesn't make a difference what it is. But he's talking to you. He's speaking to you on your level. When you're not listening, you're denying. It's a direct kfirah. What the whole idea of Navud is Mado Shemagia Ma'abayda Lalev Bnei Adam. The wisdom that comes from the creator to the heart of people. The way the Abish is speaking directly to people. Because this is the revelation of the Abish's words directly to people. Therefore, regarding the effect of Nevuah, the way it affects people, it's much more stronger Divri Nevuah, more than Divri Torah. Therefore, when someone hears a commandment from the mouth of a Navi, it's as if he's hearing it directly from the Eibush that himself is speaking to you directly. Not you hear the Eibush speaking, he's talking to you. It doesn't make a difference what he's telling you to do. You made it with Melech. Therefore, when someone doesn't listen to the words of a Navi, it doesn't make a difference what he was over on, but you're made in a direct commandment of the Eibush, just like someone's made it with Melech. It doesn't make a difference what is Chayiv Misa. From here we see that Divrei Nevuah has a certain severity more than Divrei Torah. Why? Because this is connected directly to you. This is not the Eibush talking in general. There could be different. Eibush is speaking to people more specific and direct. Even if it's in a case that a Navi is not telling you do so and so, and when you don't listen, you're not makabel the nevuah, so you're not over directly on the words of a Navi. But nevertheless, this is words of the Eibishter that's here in the world that's much more closer to us. This is the way the Eibishter is speaking directly to us. And therefore, the Rambam emphasizes right before the Nevuah from Bilam, he says V'sham Liba. Why does he need to say V'sham Liba? Why would he has to stick in the words that it's a Nevuah? Because the Rambam wants to be Meramis. The Rambam wants, the Rambam says Meramis, to hint to you that someone that doesn't believe in Mashiach is also kofer in this concept of Nevuah. And the Rebbe says over here, it's interesting, Hara 18, how is there a Chumra and Divrei Nevuah more than Divrei Torah? The Rebbe says over here, the Rambam, let's see, Hara 18, the Rambam connects the whole idea of Torah to the idea of Nevuah of Moshe. What do you need? What are you adding by connecting the whole idea of Torah to Nevuah of Moshe? Because when something is connected to Nevuah, it makes it much closer to us, much more than it just coming from the Eibush. Amunas Nevuah, Kidemis Lamunas Torah, Kim Ein Navi Ein Torah. The Amunah and Nevi'im comes before the Amunah and Torah. Why? Because if you don't have a Navi, you don't have Torah. How do we have Torah? Who gave us the Torah? Moshe Rabbeinu was talking. Where is he getting it from? So you need to believe in Nevuah more before you believe in Torah.
Torah a little steer though, because the Rambam was revived in other places that the difference all of Torah is because we saw it, we got it ourselves.
But that's talking about the Amitas Nevuah Moshe. He says that why do we believe in Moshe Rabbeinu's Nevuah? That whole the lashon of the Rambam is talking about the Nevuah of Moshe. Why do we believe in Moshe Rabbeinu's Nevuah? It's not like all the other Nevi'im that their Nevuah was Oisum Eifis and this and that. But Moshe Rabbeinu, that's coming to the Ma'amis to the voice of Moshe when the Rambam says it.
Say that again. Sorry.
He asked that it's mashma that we don't need that we saw the Eibushter speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu like the whole Amun in Torah is exactly.
Right.
We were there by Matan Torah.
Right. Every Neshama
So
was there.
so why do you need Moshe Rabbeinu? Before here it says you need to believe in the Nevuah of Moshe before you in Torah. So I'm saying where the Rambam says that the Rambam is talking about the Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu. How do we know Moshe Rabbeinu is a Navi? Not because Moshe Rabbeinu told us something that's going to happen and it happened, so now we know he's a Navi. The way like it's by other Navim. But Moshe Rabbeinu, the way we know Moshe is a Navi is because we saw the Eibishter speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu. And all that you didn't saw, how the Eibishter is telling Moshe Rabbeinu and Moshe Rabbeinu is speaking to us. So that's why we believe in Moshe Rabbeinu, not because of we saw clearly. Okay.
It's also speaking about two different things. He says our Amunah. It's not our Amunah and the Kadosh Baruch Hu is talking about because of Moshe Rabbeinu.
That's the one of the Eibishter.
Yeah, that's the Eibishter here talking about Amunah in Moshe Rabbeinu is the strongest type of knowledge because of what you said.
Right, because we saw it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if it's
Yeah, we have about 4 minutes. Usually we never finish. Yeah, we have a couple
But
more
he's not
minutes.
explaining, so he's not explaining more why it's Parshas Bilam.
No, that's now.
Oh,
Now
now
that's
it's
Gimel. So
Gimel.
Gimel. Okay, you know, let's just do.
Why is it the voice Moshe? Why is it the voice Moshe?
We spoke about it last year. That's what the Chassam Sofer says. The Chassam Sofer says. Remember, we mentioned this a couple of times. He says the way we know Moshe Rabbeinu is a Navi is from Parshas Bilam. It's a very interesting because by Matan Torah we saw it. But he said the way that the Chassam Sofer writes it, he says the Rebbe brings it more than once. The Chassam Sofer. Yeah, exactly. He said everywhere else you could say that everyone was there and they saw, so there's no proof for Nevuah. But Moshe Rabbeinu was here telling you what's happening down there. That proves to me that he's a Navi. That's what the Chassam Sofer writes.
Same thing over here, yeah. Right.
And he even says like a very, very, I think he says he should say every day Parshas Bilam also, something like that. He tried for Shema, because that proves to me that Moshe Rabbeinu is a Novi, and therefore you're going to believe in Torah. It's a very interesting Sam
When he
Sefer.
gives over V'etak and Hashem, which he did all the time in the Torah, is not considered
You could say that he was there, the Makas Dam, this, that, whatever, all the other things. You can say he saw it and he wrote it. He said, I told about mitzvah, all the commandments. The question is, maybe the Chassam Sofer is speaking on a certain level. If Imam is speaking to like someone that's very rational or whatever, so he can tell you everything is. How can he prove to me that he's a Navi? Oh, that's what he writes. It's brought in the Pianuch and in the back. On this simon.
So that was the whole thing in the Torah, the Hemshech and Sippurim of Korach, all the different rebellions. It was clarifying exactly what is the extent of Nevuas Moshe. Maybe he told him this, but this was he was Moshe himself. Like, that was the confusion. That was the Yitzhahara. That was the room to question. Does he say everything? Did he say that Aaron has to be the Kohen Gadol? That was also Nevuah.
Holy but.
Only but, yeah.
I know.
I know we're gonna make it 7 Kimmel, so let's do 120. 120. The Rebbe says the Avapi. There's actually Kover b'Meisha Rabbeinu. Hainu b'Pashas Kover b'Nevuos Yishal Meisha. The Rambam says, why does the Rambam need to say? The Rebbe is explaining why does the Rambam need to add the words of Shom Nibo? The Rambam it says already Kover b'Toira of Meisha Rabbeinu. You're Kover b'Meisha Rabbeinu. You're Kover b'Nevuos Yishal Meisha. So you're Kover this whole inyan of Nevuah. So what does the Rambam need to add the words of Shom Nibo? Says the Rebbe. Oh, here the Rebbe brings. Look at this. Look at the Shulei Gildi. You just asked. The Rebbe brings the Chassam Sofer right over here. Apima shekosef b'shut Chassam Sofer. Nisman bar 12. Sheparshas Bilam hi adover hayechidi she'ein shum eid ra'ayim bedover. V'onu ma'aminim bo ach v'ra'ach v'pnei nevuas Moshe. There's no one saw it. There's no one able to say that. Only with Nevuas Moshe. V'ven is oid yeser ad goshes arabim kever b'teir v'Moshe Rabbeinu. Kevin Shav Dachas Aguli b'Parshas Bilam. He said back inside the opinion of the other. Reis b'Knesha Kever b'Toira Kever b'Derech L'Mel b'Nevuas Moshe. A moving she'eni demel in none of the Shabbat Shem Divrei Nevuah b'Efen Golui. What's the Yisrof of Hashem? The whole Torah is Nevuas Moshe. What are you adding to Shem? It says that you can't compare it in Yonah like the way the Chassam Sofer says it. Things that are nevuah ba'ifin golui. Everything is Moshe Rabbeinu and everything is nevuah. But certain things are even more emphasized. This Indian, in a revealed way, the Indian of nevuah is Moshe, and therefore over here he adds the Indian of Hisham Liba. Okay, Mashiach now take it from Yad Mamish.
Right.
Amen. Check. Thank you much.
Slacha, shkoyach.
I'm glad I changed channels.
Huh?
I'm glad I changed channels.
What do you mean?
I was learning Kitzer.
You need everything, yeah. Kitzer is gotta live like a Jew, day-to-day life.
We get to learn, what kind of kosher we are, so we could be doing the Mashiach.
As David says, we're not a koifer, we're all mamin. Minim.
Very fine. Was gelos auf also dann die ja du was nur schon mit dem kommen mal schon mit dem schwan und mal bisschen so Problem und das mit dem die darf man sagen das dann wie so sind das für das weg mit das weg ist das ist so schätze was nur die wenn man hier der darf man kann man wissen mit dem Kids noch nicht kommen alle die Swiss mit sehr wohl ich habe bis der Seite mit der ist dabei لا سألوه من إفراي من يشكل بكشف شو من بليس لما بزيرا زي ما يعني الله فسويش كخو على ليس من فلس وشرا من بس ما سبب بارت من إسرائيل زي عن بقى يوم يبي المياس ما مقايد من يدير خمان يوم ما يديرش فيش ولا بالله الله ما يلو Baruch, Adonai Meveder, Chaleil Moed.